Hey, you there. Thank you for watching and welcome to Forge Lines Forever. Today, I have a very special cast for each and every one of you. I have the 350 plus subscriber thank you cast. This is going to be a Phantom game, which is what won the vote on the community post on my channel. It won 50% of the votes, so 18 people voted for Phantom out of 36. In second place, we had high rated game at 31%. Third place, we had low rated game. And last but not least, we had other, whether that be a bar match, Awakening of Rebellion, Star Wars, or Starfield, or any other game that you guys wanted to see as the celebration video. And again, thank you so much to everyone watching and for helping me reach 350 subs on the channel. I greatly appreciate it. I'm going to increase the speed just a little bit, probably go to 2 because it does take a few minutes to get everything rocking and rolling in a Phantom game. Starting with the 12 o'clock position player, we have Nick01 going Aeon in green. Emerald green, I think is what I'm going to call that color for now until I find a better name. In the 2 o'clock position, we have Seriton going UEF in Stitch blue. My wife is a very big fan of Stitch, and I figured that would be a good fit for that. In the 4 o'clock position, we have Like Lightning as an Aeon in Amethyst Purple. To the south, in the 6 o'clock position, in Royal Blue, we have Mr. Female Dog going Seraphim. And him getting up his eco and all of that. To the 8 o'clock position, we have Winter Wonderland going Aeon in orange, the color orange. And last but not least, for this game, we have the lightest red, the lightest red pink player of Sir Traylon going UEF. Still getting used to all of the nicknames and adjectives I've given to the colors in the game. And again, this is going to take a few minutes to get up and rolling. Usually it's about the 20-minute mark that everyone has revealed. And as customary for a Phantom match on Roanoke version 13, everyone starts off with mexes on their respective islands and start with some infrastructure as well. We'll see some hives starting to be built up here for our players, making sure they get that build power up and running. Nick01 getting rid of all of his factories and early gens and is going for a RAS upgrade. I don't know why I don't see the upgrades on the screen. That's really weird. He is going for an upgrade. He has T2 Engineering Suite, has RAS. I think maybe everyone starts with that. No, I think everyone starts with T2 Engineering Suite, I think, if I'm not mistaken. Let me check. Yeah, I think everyone starts with T2 Engineering Suite. We're seeing hives here, a bunch of hives out here for Mr. Female Dog going for naval production. And again, I'm very particular to the Navy game, so this is a very fun for me to cast and of course to watch. It is I don't know why it is, but I find Navy to be maybe the most not I guess enjoyable would be a good way to put it. It's just fun to play, get a bunch of different types of units and all of that. No, I mean, there's a few experimentals, less than land and air, but, it's a lot of fun. We have Like Lightning getting a shield transmitter, or, emitter, I should say, on the coast. Probably going to put some hives around it, protecting his build power here. To talk about rankings in this game, we have the lowest rated player of Like Lightning in the 4 o'clock position, with the highest rated player of Sir Traylon in the 10 o'clock position. If the ecos have figured it out, pointed it out by now, we do have our 2 Phantoms. Everyone voted for 2 Phantoms in the game very early on. We have Winter Wonderland at 400 mass a second. And following him, we have Mr. Female Dog, which, why does his text turn white? That's really weird. He is at 330 and climbing very quickly. Nick01 is actually catching up pretty nicely, or at least staying competitive, as well as Sir Traylon. They are both trying to stay on par with the Phantoms. The issue in this game, of course, is that if you are a Phantom, it is a last man standing kind of thing. So if you were rooting for Mr. Female Dog, everyone else has to die, including the other Phantom. The Innocents, or the Innos as they are not so rightly called, but they are nicknamed. All they have to do is kill the other Phantoms, and that is it. So the issue for the Phantoms is early on they'll go and kill one or two Innocents, and then after that, when do they break off and go after one another? Because the fear is if as they build up more and more, it kind of starts to be a little bit worrisome when you should break, because of course, you don't want your opponent essentially to beat you out in eco and in units and all of that. I have the unfortunate issue in this game where Seraphim ACUs are the only ones in the game, for some reason, in Phantom, to have the highlight mod around them as well. So luckily there's only one Seraphim player in this game. There are actually, one Seraphim, 3 Aeon, and 2 UEF. No Cyberns, no Telemasers, because of course it is a share until death game. So unfortunately, the Innos can't just collectively use all of their eco together. It is a team game, but everyone contributes individually, even after death. We have like Lightning going for Navy. I think we have we don't even have any naval units out here for Sheridan, excuse me. Nick is getting up his first naval factory fairly quickly. Going to upgrade that to T2 or T3 fairly quickly. We have Sir Tranlin not going in the Navy game as of yet. Going to build up a huge amount of hives and then go from there. Down in the south of Winter Wonderland, still following similar suit to Sir Tranlin. Just not going into the Navy game as of right now. We do have a couple naval factories out here for Mr. Female Dog, and he's going just for a line in the back. And if you're wondering, if you're new to Phantom or just FAF in general, everyone can see everything, and so there's no hiding right now. The Phantoms can break earlier on in the match, but they don't really do that before the 20-minute mark roughly, just due to the fact they didn't want to be spotted out fairly early. And again, due to their positioning, the Phantoms have the benefit and the curse, the two-edged sword, double-edged sword, not two-edged sword, double-edged sword of they're able to not focus units on their left or right, respectively, but able to move in have a war on a single front, whether that be for Mr. Female Dog or for Winter Wonderland. So Winter Wonderland's going to be pushing north on the west side of the map, and Mr. Female Dog is going to be pushing on the northeast side, and then further north, kind of going in a clockwise and counterclockwise matter. And like I mentioned earlier, when is the appropriate time to break the alliance with the Phantom? Sometimes you'll have Innocents team up with a lower, ecoed or situational Phantom and go after the bigger guys. So it just all depends on how the players feel at the current time. My thinking is try to stay under the radar for as long as possible, and then just break and just hit the gas and just go and don't stop. That would be my opinion there. Again, let's check it back on ecos here really quickly. All the way up to 900 mass a second at the 13-minute mark. And again, like I was telling in the beginning of the cast, this is why I sped it up just a little bit, due to the fact that we're already at 13 minutes and pretty much nothing has happened. And nothing happening is kind of a boring cast to watch. That's what I'm trying to talk about, RASCOMs and build power with these hives. The Cyberns would be picked every single time if none of the other factions got hives, just due to their immense power of build power. I mean, kennels aren't bad, but hives are just the superior build power. Secondary engineering station, I don't know what you would call. I mean, it's build power, but I don't know if it's like a specific type of build power, because you have RASCOMs, you have regular engineers, you have your comm. So I don't know what that's called exactly. I do like the shields over and encircling both the quantum gateways and the hives, ensuring that they can constantly pump out. Winter Wonderland can constantly pump out RASCOMs and boost his eco up. Just crossing the 1.2, roughly the 1.2 mark here, at about the 15-minute mark. We have Sir Traylon going in the same kind of idea of building up shields. I do like the additional bulwark shield to help assist in that protection. He's going for mass FAF farms as well, trying to generate that eco up very quickly. We have Nico 1 going again for Rascoms. That's pretty much the standard play here, is just build lots and lots of Rascoms and, of course, hives. He's going for a kind of all of his mass fabs are under at least one shield coverage, and just sticking with that single naval factory in the back just to start off. A couple naval factories have appeared for Saradin. He is going for, again, the dual Rascom production or gating in. It's more, yeah, it's gating in, not production, because these are technically humans in each of the, or, living creatures, not living creatures. Living beings, I guess, would be the way to put it, because the Cyberns are like a cyborg augmented sort of thing. I don't really remember. Again, it's been a long time since I have played the campaign for Supreme Commander. Like Lightning, doing, again, a similar thing, going for Team 3 Pigeon. Not really that necessary when you have, 200 Rascoms. It's not really that important. And that's just a volatile structure to explode if it is destroyed. And again, all of the circles down here in the 6 o'clock position. We have Mr. Female Dog going for mass aircraft, and I almost said anti-aircraft, but aircraft carriers, getting his air units up and running. We have a couple of engineers out here from Winter Wonderland going for mass naval factory spam, and of course, naval factories are the name of the game. We have Yasau's appearing for Mr. Female Dog as well. So he's focusing on getting, cannon fodder with some T1 units. A huge amount of aircraft carriers. Just, he's already pumped out a lot of them. We're at, again, 18 minutes. It is sped up to 2+. So again, don't let the time in the video fool you. That is, it may say I think it's like 13 or 14 minutes. I forget how the time, I think it's every 2 minutes or 2 seconds is 1 second, or I think it's every 2 seconds is 1 second. I forget how the exact +2 goes. I think it's 3 seconds. Anyway, let me know in the comments how the timing exactly works with the game speed. I think it's additional, so every second that passes is actually 3 seconds, so it's the regular second plus 2 more kind of thing. But still, getting those up very quickly. We have Sir Traylon going for the naval factories. Naval factories are going for the Neptune, so very good against T1 and T2 units. Not really good against battleships. They're fairly weak. They do put out a lot of DPS, to be fair, but just the hit points on them is just not where you really want it, especially when you have 2 Phantoms going to be pumping out a whole bunch of sub hunters, and we already have a battleship and a whole bunch of stuff out here at about the 20-minute mark, and we should see the break here pretty soon. Nuke launcher now cost 16.5k. They are more expensive. Inflation is everywhere. I do like that comment. This game was happened less than a week ago, I think, if I remember correctly. We have multiple sonar systems being put to use here from Saradin. Wants to know that intel very early on, especially when the initial break happens. And again, like I said on the channel, the more you know, the more you can prepare for. We have the T4 experimental battleships, the Tempest, the giant cannon on these things deal massive amounts of damage, and they can submerge. They lose the cannon on top, but again, a submergible unit is always a good thing. The Atlantis, very effective in that manner. Saradin going for one as we speak. Very good anti-air on those submarines. They look like rockets with the the fan design and how the engines are designed and whatnot. Very cool design. U571 is a very good movie, as well as Hunt for Red October. If you haven't watched those two, go watch them. They are very good. I have been playing a decent amount of Starfield recently because the early access came out a couple days ago. If you're watching this, of course, after Starfield officially releases, this pretty much dates the video, of course. But again, let me know down in the comments if any of you have played Starfield, if you've been enjoying it. The starship customization in that game is very in-depth, and I very much enjoy it. We have Tempest as well appearing for Winter Wonderland here at the 8 o'clock position. He already has 2 going for a 3rd and a 4th. So he's going to spam out his battleships, not going for the traditional Aeon, I forget what they're called. Salem's? Not Salem's. Oh shoot, what are they called? No, those are the aircraft carriers, I think. Let's see when this finishes. Oh, it is the Almond. That's what it is. I do apologize. Still trying to remember all of the names. There's a lot of units and a lot of names. And some units have names and some don't. Like there's the Governor class, but it's not the name. The UEF kind of go for like a Governor class. You know, there's the Cooper, so there's Governor class, which is the type of ship, T3 cruiser. And then we have Valiant class, T2 destroyer, and then Cooper. So it's like you have classes of ships, like types of ships, and then you have names of ships. So it's like Neptune class. It's the naming convention sometimes for at least UEF is a little weird, but lots of experimentals being built all the time. We have five Tempests that have been built here for Nick. For Eco, as of right now, we have 2.3 thousand mass per second for Winter, followed by Sir Traylon, which actually is beating out the other Phantom, followed by making sure that is mass, followed by Nick at 1.5 and Mr. Female Dog at 1.2. And we have Like Lightning only at about 400. Unfortunately, he probably doesn't have a whole lot of experience playing Phantom, and you just got to eco. If you love ecoing in Forged Alliance Forever in FAF, that's like what you do for the first 20 minutes. I don't know why it's not revealing all of the units, which is very weird. And when I was reviewing this, I made sure that obviously there's no DCs or anything of the sort, but I just make sure there's no DCs. I don't really pay attention to who wins, just to keep it of an authentic experience, the best I can, of course. So I don't know why it's not breaking. Maybe there was an issue or a glitch or something, because at 20 minutes is when the Phantoms are revealed, and then it's just, everything is let loose. But until we see the break, we will keep it at +2 just to keep, again, the game a little more entertaining. I couldn't imagine watching a 30 plus minute video without any action. That's very boring. Naval units starting to be built up here for all of our players in every position of the clock face that is available. All of those Omen class battleships supported by those Tempests is just insane. And we have a huge amount of naval units out here from Mr. Female Dog as well. Just T1 units, T2 units, T3 units. He's going for a mixed bag approach, variety approach. He's not going for just a one and done, just battleships and then experimental battleships and then T2 subs. So a lot of hit points on those battleships, of course, but the versatility is going to be the probably the name of the game for right now. If I'm starting to come closer to Lightning, says Traylon, probably indicating that these two, at least the player of Mr. Female Dog, you all look dangerous if you ask me. Says Mr. Female Dog. We have Winter saying bonus ? You can tell you can message a specific person in the game the bonus, and then you'll, because the Phantoms don't know who the Phantoms are unless they message one another, and just say, "Oh, what's the bonus?" Must also be Sir Traylon. Says Nick 1. Nick Sir Traylon being like, "No, it's not me." So far, some of the innocents think it's Mr. Female Dog and Sir Traylon, which would be kind of bad for Winter if he wasn't a Phantom. But the Navy that he has is just could probably take on both of the navies from Mr. Female Dog and from Sir Traylon. I have to, again, keep remembering the names. We're about to hit the 30-minute mark. We have a sonar system in the middle of the map. It is a 20 by 20, so pretty standard size for a 6v6 Phantom match. We have a lot of destroyers out here. These Exodus class, just patrolling on the southwestern side of his island. He's going for a Tempest as we speak. All of the build power, just look at all of it. Look at how many engineers there. T1, T3. I don't see any T2 in there. I think it's just T1 and T3. Just all of the engineers. Stay close to the water. He will try to bomb you. Like lagging. It seems like some People are having issues with the game. We're about to hit the 30-minute mark. Hopefully the break will happen here pretty soon. All of the players probably a little confused why it's not happening sooner. I'm just going to slow it down just back to normal speed just to make sure we don't miss any of the juicy action. On the northeast, we have bulwarks being used to protect these Neptune-class destroyers as well as the summits. That's what they're called. Unit cap says Sir Traylon. I don't think so. The unit cap is 120,000. It's only 4,000 units. No. A unit cap. He should be able to build units, and he still is building units, which is weird. The mod should remove it. Yeah, the Phantom mod should remove the unit cap. There is a unit cap in the game, so you don't just spam out like a million T1 bombers and just roll over the enemy kind of thing. Why can't I build UEF drones anymore? Think about his kennels. But no, he's building them. Oh, never mind. Says Sir Traylon. He's building them, but it looks like something happened with the pathfinding, maybe? I don't know. Maybe it was a little weird there. SACU wasn't able to move. Yeah, sometimes the pathing on those units kind of messes with the build orders and whatnot. We have a Czar in the back line for Nick, going for the very, I don't say weak, but they deal a lot of crash damage. So just sending 10 donuts in and just crashing on the enemy is just like, just a big, just like diss to someone. Like, look at all this mass I spent, and I'm just going to control K it and dump it on top of you and just bury you in mass. The most precious resource of the two in the game. His energy is kind of like, you can just, it's way easier to generate and all of that. I kind of like the concept in Supreme Commander 2 where you could convert energy to mass, which I thought was an interesting idea. But there was a lot of other things in that game that weren't executed well, and it's just not, it's not a great game in the sense that it could have been better. It could have just been this game, but better. But yeah, developers went in a different direction. There were some units and stuff that were pretty fun to play, but I pretty much played the campaign and Exodus campaigns, and that was about it. Review should be about, it should be at 28 minutes, says Sir Traylon. We're at the 31-minute mark. Still nothing on forcing the reveal of the Phantoms. This has allowed for a huge amount of build-up. Nick replying to him saying, yes. Oh, look at all those omens. 48 omens. Yeah, this was a long wait, says Saradin. The Phantoms could have just broken whenever they wanted, but it's advantageous to them to just wait. I'm surprised. Oh, the Phantoms could have gone before that. Yeah, says Saradin. And I'm surprised that the Innocents haven't just deduced who it was and started attacking. You don't want to be 100% sure, though, because if you attack an Innocent, that's like not really a good idea for your team, because in a sense, it's a Saradin, not Saradin. It is a Innocent versus Phantom kind of thing. So, that's not really the best idea. Friendly fire's not good. Friendly fire's bad. We do have a break here. Mr. Female Dog has broke with like lightning. We can see his not area of effect, his fog of war on the other players has not been broken. Alliance. There is some conversation going down in chat saying the players have been revealed. Let the games begin. Yeah, 32 minutes. That's very weird that the alliance with Saradin has broken and all the other alliances are being broken. Yeah, there's this thing where you, as a Phantom, it's kind of cheesy to not break with the other players you're fighting. So that is Nick making a comment. It's just a honorable thing to do. T3 bombers. T3 strategic bombers are on their way. Can we select them and track? Here they come. They are inbound to the targets. Flying overhead. They're going for probably the calm of like lightning because it is a share until death. The calm of like lightning hasn't been moving. Bombs are landing. The shields are falling. Like lightning, just being enveloped. Shield coverage still is trying to protect them. And kaboom! That is a kill for the Phantoms. An Innocent has died, and all of this stuff will go up in smoke. It is now a 3v2. Or I guess it's a 3v1v1. So Innocence versus a Phantom versus another Phantom. Yeah, all of his stuff going the way of the dinosaur, just exploding and being turned into juicy mass for players to scoop up. We have these Hathums launching their ordnance at the incoming UEF fleet. Missiles raining down from the cruisers. What's weird is that these battleships aren't moving, but yet the cruiser missiles aren't hitting the battleships, which is very weird. Oh, I guess now they are. Yeah, now they're hitting it. That was, maybe they were targeted on something else. Large engagements going on all sides of the map. The Sea of Orange. If he was Rust, I'd say the Rusty Sea or something. But look at all that incoming fire. Just look at it. It's just, that's a lot of incoming ordnance coming down onto Sir Trayland's main naval force. We already have battleships and other supporting ships just falling into the sea. We have RASCOMs and D3 engineers building up SAMs to protect his front line. We have engagements here in the middle as well. We have units out here from Nick trying to pincer the huge naval force out here from Winter Wonderland. How many Tempests does he currently have? He has 17 Tempests. There's one couple in the back line. That is so many. We have a huge submarine force supported by a couple battleships out here for Mr. Female Doc, and the amount of firepower that is coming off of those subs will just annihilate anything in its path. See the little lines in the water just going after all of those cruisers. Excuse me. We have destroyers in the mix. They do have torpedo defense on those destroyers, but the amount of torpedoes being launched is just too great for one solitary destroyer to fend off. We have actually all of his experimental battleships, the Tempest, under the water, firing all of their torpedoes at the enemy ships. And now we're getting a lot of this cannon fodder mess going down, targets being rained. We have, looks like the submarines, the submersible battleships have emerged. You can see the cannons immediately flick out and just start raining its ordnance down from their little, I would say portholes, but that's where that's how you view when you steer the submarine. But you can just see the sphere of influence just slowly gaining more and more for the Phantoms. The Yasows just coming in and just annihilating everything in this UEF fleet from Saradin. Just all of those torpedoes just annihilating everything. T3 going after the shield boats. That is a very good play there, reducing the survivability of those units. And while the battleships in the back line shell that forward position. And this is the downside with building all of these Neptunes, is they have to get in closer than the battleships do, and because of that, they're able to just, a lot of their weapons are ineffective at that range. You can see the firepower on those Neptunes are pretty good when the units are in range, but battleships outrange them, and that is the downside to Neptunes. We have those Authams making their march. Well, they're not marching. Swim. I think it's a swim. I don't know what it's called, but all of that ordnance coming off of those cannons, you can just see it just launch off everything. Look at it. Tempest firing, shelling the... I don't think they've targeted the land emplacements yet, but you can just see the shells impacting, taking out huge amounts of hit points. Oh, this group of battleships is not a good place for everyone to be. Look at them just all grouped in. Oh, that's just... look at them all. Just look at all of those battleships just grouped in. My stupid battleships are stuck. They're all like congregated in like one spot, and they just can't pathfind out of one another. And due to that, the incoming Tempest and Autumn Fire is able to deal AoE damage to all of those ships, rendering them pretty much not useless, but a lot of those hit points just kind of a mood point. Yeah, I'm thinking of the show Friends when Joey's talking about it's a cow's opinion. It's moo, as whenever I think of mood point. The Yasows. Let me turn the whole things back on. We have the Yasows moving in, taking out anything and everything in their sight. Just the hit points on those Neptunes are just falling so quickly. Look at all, just thousands of hit points just being annihilated. The bulwarks cannot keep up. We have some T2 tsunamis, these torpedo launchers trying to do their best, but unfortunately it's just not enough. I feel like a lot of players on the innocent sides are wishing for those harms, those T3 ambushing systems from the Seraphim. Very effective torpedo launchers. But the Othams are raining in, just single filing, going down the line. It's like they're shopping at the store, just kind of like, oh, I want to destroy this naval factory and then this one, that kind of thing. They're just shopping over there to the west. There's no land army. There's no fleet from either team in between the two Phantoms. They have a lot of trust with each other right now. There's one Otham just kind of going that direction. Where is it going exactly? Looks like it's just going to head right here. Probably a good idea to start building not a lot of forces, but just a small amount. We even have RASCOMs on the front line going after the mass left in the water in the wake of everything. We should just see RASCOMs in the water at all times. Doesn't matter. The amount of naval units, amount of mass in the water, even right now, the game took a second to load. 117,000, 100,000, 242,000, at one point, 142,000. Not maybe a million mass, but it's at least, I'd say 600 to 750,000 mass within 8 minutes of combat. I mean, granted, some of that came from the destruction of Lightning's island. Seeing RASCOMs, killing RASCOMs on this island, ordnance being fired upon them from these Exodus class destroyers. The only downside with RASCOMs, of course, is if they're in large numbers, they can chain react when one explodes. Do the AoE splash damage on death. Another one's about to explode, takes a hit, takes more hit points off the next one. So if you have lots and lots of RASCOMs, do not group them up together, kind of keep them spread out. How many does Winter Wonderland have as we speak? Oh, I need to zoom out more, I think. He has 178. Each RASCOM produces 11 mass a second. So you can imagine why he's at 3.3 thousand mass a second, followed by Sir Traylon at 2.7. His Phantom buddy still under 2K, while two of the three innocents are still alive. Mr. Female Dog has built a nuke launcher. It is the Yolana Os, but he is going to end the game here. At least that's what he's hoping for, fairly quickly. That nuke, that super nuke, is on its way to target the naval production from Saradin here in the 2 o'clock position. I do appreciate that the nuke launch icon on the minimap pulsates for a couple seconds longer, so I can see where it's headed. Because you can prime the next target from the Yolana Os, but not the existing target. There is a Awasha that has been built. Again, my favorite air unit in the game. It just deals massive amounts of damage. Creates not a mini nuke, but I'd say it's pretty comparable to a Billy nuke. Is the bomb going to drop? No? Okay, well. It's going to go impact on the shield. The yellow has landed, takes out a decent amount of those RASCOMs in the water. The bomb impacts on the shields, takes out the shield energy capacity, and these Hathums, these battleships, will move in to deal with the rest of it. Actually, they are retreating. They're leaving for the middle. We have a Awasha going for these RASCOMs in the water. Takes out the rest of those RASCOMs. There's more on the way to build torpedo launchers, but these Yasels will be able to deal with the rest of that. ASF are on approach for Saradin. Saradin will probably bag this experimental bomber, unfortunately for Mr. Female Dog, but he does get a bomb off at the last second. The bomber lands, takes out a huge section of those hives, takes out a shield. The bomb was able to impact onto the shields, it looked like, and then deal the rest of the crash damage, not fall damage. We have a couple of Zars on the way to help support this huge naval incursion here in the west. The Sea of Orange is expanding its influence. Winter Wonderland is not in a Winter Wonderland. He is in a, I don't want to say tropical. It's not very beachy. I mean, there's some beaches, but there's not really a whole lot of beachfront property kind of thing. I don't know. Let me know down in the comments what type of environment you would call this in terms of, tropics or whatever the case may be. 2 anti-nukes launch simultaneously, just barely on that edge. You can see it just barely reaches that edge where that nuke landed. They're going to build up. Everyone's going to build up anti-nuke now. Just anyone and everyone. I wouldn't be surprised. Yep, he is building them as well. 5 of them already built. Looks like we have some pathing issues here for some of these Othams. They're trying to get out. He's even control caved one of the factories just to help assist in the movement. There's still like 3 or 4 of them stuck here. They're producing at such a high rate, they just get stuck. That is the thing to watch out for, and I know in the moment it's kind of hard to plan for that, but everything, at least in the Navy, builds to the left, and so it's easy to put things a little farther out. I know it is a little annoying at times, but having it be a little bit farther away from the beach would allow for those units to move around a little bit easier. You can see there are multiple units trying to get out. This often makes it out of the group, and Awasher lands again. Where is it? I saw it takes out all of those torpedo bombers that were built. Ravager spam is the course of the day for Sheridan on this 2 o'clock position. The nuke is on approach. Will it take out anything on the land? 1 anti-nuke gets launched. The second one gets launched. Bombs go off, take out a huge section of those RASCOMs. SAM sites open up and take out another of those washers, but I feel like that was definitely worth it. You can tell just the amount of mass that was lost. You had that it has to sink into the water. Like was so weak, like lightning was so weak. Says so trailing. Yeah, unfortunately, 700 facing off against a 1200. Not really the best situation. It would have been better if he was back here, but I don't think he's very familiar with Phantom. And so that's why he didn't know what to prioritize. We have another washer for Mr. Female Dog, and that will almost die to SAM missiles. Surface-to-air missiles. Those are SAM. It's like saying when there's a test and it's like, what ACT or whatever, it's like test is in the name of the test in the acronym, so it's like you're saying test twice. The shield coverage falls. This bomb is going to land. The bomber gets taken out as well. That huge, almost all of those Ravagers go down, and a lot of those SMD go down, and that is going to be, let's see. If the SMD are knocked out, none of them are, maybe that one will load, that one will not. So this island over here to the 2 o'clock position of Sheraton will fall to that YOLO. We're hearing RASCOMs just go off in the distance. Checking back here over to the west. How is the oh, that's so many red numbers. I literally can't even read it. I think we're we're pretty much staying about at least 750, if not we've hit the million mass on the field right now. We have, that 1 nuke does launch, anti-nuke, but unfortunately this YOLO is going to land and take out mostly everything on the island. Hives, quantum gateways, just everything just gets annihilated by the nuke. Very pretty. The prettiest nuke in the game, of course, it is the biggest one. The Seraphim comm explosion is also very pretty as well. So, as well as the Awasher. They like the Seraphim apparently like this kind of star, kind of serpent design. There's like a 3-star kind of thing going on with the Awasher. There's like a 5-star kind of dome that appears. And then there's just like a very much expanded mushroom cloud for the YOLO. Another YOLO does get launched. Is it going? I'm assuming it's going for either the Navy or the secondary base. There is an SMD. It has 1 nuke, anti-nuke that's going to get loaded. But unfortunately, the comm out here for Sheridan is on the north side of the map. But this secondary base that just got built, I don't even think, 1 will probably get built. Yep, gets launched. Isn't enough. And just gets wrecked. All the trees fall down as well. It's a really cool detail there. But now, unfortunately, there's another YOLO launch. Where does this one go? I think it's going for the Trailance main base. Oh, it's just going straight north because, Sheridan's pretty much knocked out of the match for a while. It's going it's going on an intercept course for that secondary island here. There is a Maver under construction out here for the Innocents out here from Sheridan. We do have an SMD. It has 5 anti-nukes loaded, so that is going to be able to survive a couple of YOLOs. But unfortunately, they are loading. Mr. Female Dog is loading these things at an incredible rate. And it's pretty much by the time one of them lands, the other one is about ready to be built. This one is going to get shot down fairly quickly. Yep, 1 and 2. We have Yasows appearing for Mr. Female Dog on the western side to help with the amount of incoming forces out here from Winter Wonderland, just mopping up the rest of them. We can just see Mr. Female Dog's just influence on the map. He probably controls about 50% of the map just by himself. There is a satellite in orbit around, not in orbit, in hovering. I don't know what to call it. Shield coverage is starting to fall though around this YOLO though. Because Maver got built. That Maver doesn't. There must be another secondary Maver somewhere. But the shields around that YOLO are down. I think that was a Maver shot. It sounds like a Maver shot. But the next one lands and takes out the YOLO. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. Oh, there's artillery, I think, inbound. Let's see what's over here. There was a Maver built for Sir Trayland, but unfortunately, it was able to take out the YOLO, but not survive the incoming bombardment from those naval units out from Winter Wonderland. Apologies for missing it. The Novax is still online, which is very weird. There's a Duke as well. These two are still online. Looks like Winter Wonderland prioritied the Maver and then just said, nope, I don't need to worry about anything else. And we can just see Mr. Female Dog constantly moving in. There's still, I guess, one more Maver shot lands, but the Duke isn't really that powerful by itself. Another washer in the clip ready to be used. How many of these does he have? Just the one? Yep, just the one. I don't see anything else. How many Othams does Winter Wonderland now have? 43, so starting to fall a little bit, but of course, look at all that he's gained, taking out that huge naval presence from Sir Trayland. Even the naval presence out here from Nick 01. We're even seeing Nick 01 starting to receive some of that incoming fleet from Mr. Female Dog. A Tsar now under construction from all of these Rascoms, trying to pump those out as fast as he can. We have intel gathering missions out here from Winter Wonderland, getting a nice view of what's going on. They're going to see the Maver here. Oh, do they see it? Oh, they see some units. Oh, they see it. Yep. There it goes. Almost was hidden, but unfortunately now the Phantoms know of that Maver existence. Just Otham on Otham carnage here. Aeon and Aeon carnage, excuse me. There's summits, there's engineers, they're just trying to reclaim mass, just trying to, get some work done, trying to provide for their families. They didn't want to get involved in this war. We have Awasher on its another bombing run out here from Mr. Female Dog, trying to go for this huge group of Rascoms. Not really doing a whole lot right now, but that is the main target here for the experimental bomber. Would like to probably get these hives as well, but the shield coverage is just strong enough, and the assistance of those Rascoms will be able to deal with the rest of that. We have the donuts, the Tsars, being used to defend against this incoming barrage of units. They have depth charges on them, so they're able to target submarines as well, or submerged units. The Awasher is a 5-starred bomber. Are they going to take out the shields? The shields are down. The bomb gets launched, and ooh, they're not dead. They're severely wounded, but they're not dead. Oh, do they start chain reacting? Oh, that one's just on so little hit points. That would have done a huge chain reaction. Right, Nick, producing 2.5k mass per second. Do apologies for that. Oh, no, that's Sir Trayland. Sir Trayland under 1,000. Mr. Female Dog at 1.3, and Winter Wonderland at 3.1. Naval units move into the northeast, probably go after that 75% built Maver. That would be a target to go after. If you have anything spicy going down for Winter Wonderland in his main base, he's just covered it in mass fabs and hives and gateways and all the shield coverage you can imagine, and of course a couple SMD just to make it a point. He's built one T3 factory, air factory headquarters, just to pump out intel, the spy planes. We have another, oh no, the YOLO mass is still there, 79,807. Mr. Female Dog is at the back of his base. Is he underneath the water? Nope, his head's sticking out. It's hanging out. next to all these torpedo launchers. Get back onto the action in the north, building up a huge amount of hives. He's doing dual YOLOs. Oh, Sheridan says, I'm done. He's lost. Looks like he lost the Maver due to this incoming fire. Looks like there were also maybe not nukes, but bombers that came. There's a chicken. A chicken walked all the way from Mr. Female Dog's main base to the secondary island for Sheridan and Nick. Sheridan control case says, I'm out. There's really not a whole lot I can do now. Had a couple RASCOMs, but again, wasn't doing a whole lot. That ion storm goes off, taking out pretty much the rest of what's here for Nick. Probably going after that SMD at some point. Their RASCOMs are trying to repair the SMD as fast as they can. The RASCOMs start to explode, and they take the SMD with it, and that whole island is annihilated. Do you want help versus Winter? Mr. Britches, Mr. Female Dog says yes, so there might be an alliance here pretty soon. Not as of right now, though. Mr. Female Dog rejects your alliance. Mr. Female Dog says wait. Maybe he's gonna. It looks like he's pulling his forces back and then gonna align. We have. Oh, just look at all of that mass. Just look at it. Now we're probably most definitely over 1 million mass on the map. Probably at 1.25. I should get that mod that shows you. Does it show me if I do this? No, it doesn't. I might have to get a mod to show me all the mass. I know I've seen one. I just don't remember what it's called. Let me know down in the comments what the name of the mod is that lets me see the total mass on the map in terms of obviously reclaimable mass. Female Dog, are you ready to lose? Says Sir Traylon. Sir Traylon being a little salty. He has nothing left to his name. It's just Nick essentially, and not and a little bit of a resistance from Sir Traylon. So at this point, if you went to Wonderland, you're thinking you've taken out 2 innocents, you've crippled a third one. Nick 01 is the only one really left. Why not just take out the Phantom? And I guess sometimes it's like the honorable thing to take out all the innocents, and then go after the other Phantom. But what's the fun in that? A surprise attack kind of thing. There is starting to be a build up here on this eastern side for both players of the Phantoms. Drop Bomber's getting into position. He's built a YOLO. He's built a stealth field. Obviously, Winter Wonderland knows those there, or at least can see them. He might be distracted with other things, not really paying attention. Definitely something you should not do is not pay attention. He is spending mass like it is going out of style, but like negative 1,000 mass a second over there. What is he building that requires all that mass? Well, just everything. He's building everything. Oh, how many ASF does he have? 680, 725 ASF. That's so many ASF. So many. Look at this. Look at all the intel. He'll know everything that's going on this side of the map. You can just see going for the side islands and then going to go probably in the middle. Pretty much Sir Traylon is knocked out of the game. He has a couple of RASCOMs, and one of the YOLOs is launched. Where is it going? He's broken the alliance with Winter Wonderland, Mr. Female Dog has, and one of the YOLOs has launched. The second one is about to be completed. Probably should have waited to build both nukes first and then launch them simultaneously, but the first nuke is launched. It's going to probably cripple the Navy here to the northeast of Winter Wonderland's main base, or I guess main island, I guess. And that nuke looks like it's going to land. I want a mobile SMD for Navy. It's just such a crime to watch all of this naval unit just go up in smoke because there's no SMD and they're not close enough to the land. The nuke lands, of course, and just all of the planes fall out of the sky, and everything just gets annihilated and irradiated. Huge section of those defenses go down, allowing for incoming forces to come and punch even further, faster, harder, stronger. I forget what the phrase is. But we have just all of the battleships here on the southeastern side. They should be prioritizing the Tempest, but they're not. They're prioritizing the Omen. Sometimes it's hard to just micromanage all of that. All of the bombers over here, they're looking for that YOLO. They don't find it. They circle back over, trying to go after infrastructure on the main base. Shield coverage starting to fall around key structures. We have an SMD exposed. Couple, is a gateway exposed. Trying to look for that comm. The comm, unfortunately, I think is down. So Trailer Control K's. Looks like he left the match. Did he mention anything about it? Nice strats orange. You're going to lose. Okay, enough cancer, and decides to leave. The Strat Bombers are inbound. There are ASFs in wait. They should have been patrolling the skies before they got there. Shields go down around that first YOLO. The first YOLO does go down. Kills a decent amount of those RASCOMs. There's some hives still assisting the second one. All of those bombers are annihilated. 2 nukes do get off, pretty much one after the other. I was not aware that you were even fighting this, so trailing to everyone in chat. And look at this, we see 1 nuke and how many? Oh, there's so many SMD, and they at least have 1 or 2 loaded. Take 2 of those missiles. The second one is inbound. I thought I saw a second one. Maybe that one got shot down as well. But there is still a YOLO alive for Mr. Female Dog. Do we have anything going on Nick's side of the map? Well, he is building donuts. He is building Zars. How many does he have right now? Yeah, it's 6. That's not bad. That's a decent chunk. You have, 700 ASFs to deal with, but, that number has gone down significantly, of course. Another YOLO gets launched. Where are the Strat Bombers or bombers out here for Winter Wonderland? Going for the northern section of the Navy now. Trying to just cut off any incoming forces. We have a bunch of the engineers trying to heal this Tempest, but I don't think it's going to be enough. There's too much incoming fire. I mean, you have 2 Tempests, and this is just going to annihilate anything nearby. It takes out that Tempest, takes out 1 engineer. That's the downside with just letting your units just fire whenever you want or whenever they want. It's just they're not coordinated, and it's hard to micromanage. I get that. We're at 56 minutes. Subcom Brame has definitely set in for everyone, for most people, if not for Winter Wonderland as well. The highest player and the lowest player have left. The nuke does land. Takes out a huge section of that Navy. Navy tries to spread out, but a lot of those Omens are going to go down. A Tempest goes down. Some huge section of RASCOMs as well. Another nuke gets launched. Look at all the nukes getting launched for that 1 YOLO. There are ASF nearby to help escort the incoming bombers if they ever will appear, but this is just not working out for Winter Wonderland. He's lost a lot of his Navy. Just the double YOLO surprise was definitely waiting for him. Or not wait. We're waiting for him. Not waiting for him. I don't know what the word is, but just look at all of it. Look at all that nonsense. Look at it all. All those you don't really see, especially in games like FAF. Most of the matches kind of end about 50 to an hour mark. Some matches last longer, but this YOLO's going to land and kill all of these aircraft carriers. Ooh, that's gotta hurt. All those T1 subs getting annihilated as well. Just the shockwave just pushing it further and further back. Look at all the that's gotta hurt. Another YOLO. Yeah, I don't know what Winter Wonderland's doing, but that thing is target priority number 1. It's a YOLO. That thing is firing incredibly fast. I don't know why he's not prioritizing it. I don't know what he's doing. He's lost a decent amount of his eco. Now Nick, the innocent in the game, last one in the game, is still alive. So it's now a 1v1v1. It's an innocent versus a phantom versus another phantom. This YOLO is not going to land. There's too much of... Oh, no, it drops just short. Takes out more of these battleships. Would have probably placed that a little bit closer to his main force. Take out more of these Tempests because he's not going to win this fight in the current amount. Just all of those T1 subs. And look at the hit points just fall on that battleship. Just gets wrecked. We have these T3 Solaces, the torpedo bombers from the Aeon. Nick says, yep, in chat. The island is not enough space to build anything. I had 3,000 income. And Nick just says, yep. Another YOLO. Yeah, I just don't know. There they come. Here they come. They're on their way. Again, surprising it took this long. A lot more nukes could have been prevented had he just prioritized the bomber production. You can see the shield. The Strat Bombers. Oh, sorry, excuse me. The Strat Bombers have their targets. Let's just get rid of all the icons so we can just see the bombing that will take place. More shields have been built up for this YOLO. The bombs are starting to be dropped here onto the shields. They impact the shields. More and more get launched every time. Shields are falling. YOLO's exposed. And kaboom. That is the third YOLO that has died in this game. We haven't seen a Paragon, which would be kind of surprising to see in a Phantom game. It's not like you have unlimited resources, but you kind of do, just because the nature of the game, especially for the Phantoms. Like, you're not really going to see a Phantom build a Paragon. It's a lot of resources, and it's the fact that, you know, when it dies, it explodes a lot, just like a nuke. It's not really the best idea. And then, of course, the rest of the SACUs are just being peppered by these bombs. They can take several hits, but they are dealt with summarily. And now Nick is the front runner in the mass game. Like I mentioned earlier, over 3,000 mass. What is he building with all of it? Well, let's see. How many? We have 14 Zars that have been built. We have, you know, a string of pretty much everything. We have the mass exodus from the main base, just walking to the front lines. Multiple waves of these Rascoms. There's not really a whole lot of Rascoms here for Mr. Female Dog. He has... There we go. He has 60. I don't see anything. Where is his comm? I have to actually go in and look for it. I don't... It's probably like the one by himself or something. Nope, it's not him. I don't... Is this him? Nope. I don't know where he is. I have lost the comm, unfortunately. I don't see him. Oh, let's see. I can just actually select his... Where are you? Oh, he's all the way... He's all the way up here. Minimize that. He's just hanging out. There's another Rascom that's just walking towards him. What is he doing up here? He just figures it's the best place to be. Nick. Alright, that's the wrong play. No, I did. Oh, and he's allied with Mr. Female Dog, so he knows where the comm is if he's paying attention. But it's dire situation here out for Mr. Female Dog's main base. The amount of T1 bombers being spammed up and used. We even have a splitting maneuver over here to the south, trying to pincer in the remaining forces. Lots of torpedo launchers have been built up in the meantime for Mr. Female Dog, but just the T1 bomber spam is real and just wrecks a whole bunch of, well, everything. ASF take out another all-washer. Nick is trying to push on this northern side. Mr. Wonderful, Mr. Wonderland, Winter Wonderland, just running over everyone. He's starting to lose the western flank, his northern flank, the western side of the map. But you can just see now Nick owns pretty much 50% of the map. I mean, besides this little corner, and it's just building the most amount of naval factories I have ever seen. And again, just trying to defend with whatever he has, Mr. Female Dog does. He's whittling down most of this... sorry, they're T2, not T1. I do apologize. The little tick marks underneath the upside-down half circle is... not upside-down. I don't know what symbol that is. Just the submarine symbol looks like a 1, but it was a 2. I do apologize for that. So T2 sub-hunters still put out a lot of damage. Even if he had T1 subs, just the amount that he has is just insane. Defenses are hurriedly being built up. There's a decent amount of these torpedo launchers in the south section of his base. Not really a huge concern there. You can just see the amount of incoming fire to the west is just, you know, pot shots being thrown back at one another. I think Nick is actually winning the Tempest game. He has 8 over here as of right now, while Winter Wonderland has 8 as well, but one of them doesn't count and he's moving to the south. So he's 8 on this north side. And I don't know, it's starting to favor Winter Wonderland again, but a lot of these shots are going into... Oh good, they are going into the Omen class. Winter Wonderland is using his engineers as cannon fodder, trying to distract shots coming out of, well, anything. And where are all those Zars going? How many does he have now? 23 czars. He has almost 24 czars. And the engineers are floating on the water, trying to make their way to that southern island for those YOLOs. But the nearby strat bombers say, no. No, I'm not going to let you do that. Has he built anything back here? He has an Apocalypse, the SML, the nuke launcher here for the Aeon. He's built another one. He does have an SMD on the island as well, and just building more and more of them. So going mass nuke, it looks like. He doesn't have access, of course, to the YOLO because he's not Seraphim. But you could do mass nukes, so that works. Inbound spy planes trying to find anything and everything they can. More donuts being used to just push this southern side. Looks like they're going to position and just take out whatever's left of that base out here from Mr. Female Dog. They haven't broken alliances as of yet, but I wouldn't be surprised to see anything else. Will Mr. Wonderland see the corner? No, he won't. In order to see the comm underneath the water, you need to get a spy plane over it. So there's just a RAS comm and the comm in the the northeast corner. We have a couple of these destroyers taking out infrastructure here to the northwest. Split apart from the main force. There are some destroyers inbound to help deal with that. But the Omens are getting Omens and Exodus and more Tempest are appearing here for Nick, and he's pushing that front line back. He still has 8. Just all of everything is just so much. We probably hit at least 1.5 million mass at one point. There are a decent amount of RASCOMs reclaiming all the time, non-stop. You just once the fighting starts, you just gotta go. You just gotta build all the RASCOMs you can, send them forward, reclaim everything you can. Just get more and more of that mass into your coffers. Looks like Winter Wonderland has a opening in the middle. He's congregating his units on the east and the western side of his northern flank, using engineers as cannon fodder down the middle, distracting the destroyers and Omens. The sheer number of Zars just is astounding. How many? 24 and even 24. And they are going to push that front line. Oh, excuse me. Wrong Furcut. Look at this. Look at all this nonsense. They're targeting a Zar on the ground and just annihilating it. Just annihilating it. I'm going to take off everything. We're just going to watch this push. Watch the lasers open up and just the glassing of the planet, as it were. If you're a fan of Halo, and specifically Halo Reach, you'll know what I'm talking about. Why don't I see it? There we go. We can see the lasers, but not when oh, there they go. Now they're activating. Just look at that incoming wave. Zar after Zar just falling. All the edge Zars are just falling down, taking out anything below it. The laser, the glassing is real. Everything is falling in that main base. It's just getting annihilated. The Zars just take out everything on that island. More and more fall all the time. And that island has been annihilated. Looks like they found the comm of Winter Wonderland. The shields are starting to fall on his chassis, and he just control K's all of the Zars and kills Winter Wonderland. It is now a 1v1, 1 innocent and 1 phantom remain at 1 hour and 6 minutes. If you've been enjoying the cast, or if you loved that play out here from Nick, please give it a like and comment, of course. And everything just gets just evaporates, just dies off. And now it's the 12 o'clock position versus the 6 o'clock position. And just based on mass, it is almost a 2-to-1 advantage. Nick at 3.8K and Mr. Female Dog at 2.2. And this was a game, folks. We have the comm. Well, actually, that's not his comm. That's not his comm. Where is his comm? Nope, that's just a roaming band. Did he teleport or something? Did he just teleport in the mix? I don't see him on the main island. He could just be in my face and I don't see it. Yeah, let's just go this way. That's why I like the highlight mod. It's easier to find him. Oh, he's way down at the edge of the map. You can see that literally at the edge of the map, just hiding out, trying to survive as long as he can. in that sea of green. It was orange in the beginning of the game, and now, or when the fighting started, and now it's a sea of green is pushing south. Just Nick's just saying Control A and attack order move. We see an AW washer being used to take out a secondary base out here to the east. Where are the ASF response? Where is the ZAR response? Like, geez, now we just see Tempest being built all the time. How many does he have online? 17, and they are all pushing southward. This is not looking good. Mr. Female Dog needs to assassinate the comm. He's going for another YOLO at 50%. The AW washer still doing its thing. Where did it go? Maybe it got taken out? I swear I heard it go off, but maybe not. We used to have, it is over 50%, excuse me for that. We have 50% for Mr. Female Dog. And yeah, this is not looking good. All those naval forces are inbound. Probably shouldn't string them in one by one though. I would have liked to see them group up here in this little center deep part of the map and just then push forward. Oh, it's up here to the north. I do apologize. A ZAR being used for anti-air purposes. The missiles on that ZAR trying to do what they can. SAMs take out decent amount of those hit points. The AW washer is faster than the ZAR, but the ZAR does have a decent amount of range. The bombs drop. They go after some RASCOMs. They both split. Nick's comm is right here. The shield does get hit a little bit, but not a lot. Going to rep up pretty fastly, and the anti-air on everything opens up. The bomber lands, crash lands, and that's going to be more mass on his doorstep for Nick 01. Units out here to the south for Nick. They start to penetrate the main defense line of Mr. Female Dog. There's a decent amount of SAMs and, of course, torpedo launchers all day, every day. That is the name of the game. He's building chickens. Now, are you going to tell me that Mr. Female Dog is going to spam chickens and walk them across the map? By the time they reach the edge of the map, they're going to die. And you don't want to have them go on land because everything is going to open fire on it. So, probably not the best idea, honestly. It's going to take a while, and it's not really worth it. I'd rather just spam up, experiment with the bombers or the YOLO that just finished. The nuke just came online, and it's going to fire here pretty soon. It's going to target the western secondary base out here for Nick. Nick does have a 7. He has 14 SMDs, so 7 YOLOs. He can just go, nah, it's fine. I don't care. Just go away. And how do the nukes look? We have 2 loaded in this one, 1 loaded, almost 2 of them, 2 almost loaded in that one, 2 loaded in that one, 1 and a almost half loaded in that one. So we have potentially 7 to 10 nukes being online. I wouldn't be surprised to see those launch in counter to that YOLO. And it doesn't look like Mr. Female Dog has a whole lot. He has 7 here, 7 here, 4 there. So it's 18 at the present time. So he needs his naval force or air force to just eliminate all of the SAMs, at least the 2 that have 7 in them. The second YOLO nuke is launched. I don't know where it's going. I didn't check it's going straight for the middle. There's no SAM coverage. There's no SMD coverage here. So anything in this area will die. But luckily for Nick, there's really nothing there. There's some RASCOMs, but it's, we're talking about, he's at 4.2. A couple of RASCOMs isn't going to matter at this stage in the game. We're at 1 hour and 11 minutes and a half. So a lot of time for these 2 players to have built up just an incredible amount of resources. You still have, I guess the mass was scooped up from that those old YOLOs. The ZARs are over the top of the YOLO. The SAMs are trying to take him out, but it looks like, but does he want to crash land? He is going to. He just crash lands it, does kill it though. And the other ZAR does fall. The YOLO is taken out. One of the SMDs is taken out. RASCOMs are the priority of the day. You should target the SMD, but just the main fleet has arrived, and that base for Mr. Female Dog is going up in smoke. The Innocents look like they're going to pull it out. Pretty much the only thing that can save Mr. Female Dog at the present time is, oh geez, the nuking has begun, going for all of the infrastructure down here to the south. It's nuclear warfare, not nuclear hellfire, nuclear barrage, nuclear something. We have a couple squadrons over here to the east of the T3 Synthas. I think it's Synthas. I think that's how you say it. The drop bombers, they are on approach. Mr. Female Dog has teleported over here to the east. He's building chickens right now on the one of the sub islands. We're just gonna watch these nukes land. The AL nuke, in terms of its design, like the AOE, like the actual explosion, I think it's my second favorite. It's not just like a fireball; it's actually like a pulse. You can see the first one lands. Boom, 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 boom. Just takes out that little like kind of pulse wave that it does. It's really cool design that way. I still like the kind of the dome that forms when you blow up a Seraphim commander. But the bombers are inbound. Let's go track like the middle one. Zoom in, take off all the little icons so we can see what's going on. Turn the camera, not that far. Turn the camera and we'll just watch the bombing runs occur. Both players had a good strategy here, going for one last stand. They're going for the mass engineering facilities, and all of those hives go up in smoke. The center of that island just gets annihilated, and for good measure takes out almost all of the quantum gateways. More of the strap bombers turn around, go for a second pass, probably go for mass FAF farms, anything that can blow up nice and pretty. That section goes up. Shields fall on other ones, but pretty much most of the strats have fallen. It is 1 hour, almost 15 minutes. Oh, there's an SMD that wasn't. There's two SMD that still weren't taken out, but the SAM coverage is too strong. Comm of Nico 1 is in the back of his base. Mr. Female Dog, where is your comm? He's still down here. Are you gonna? He has the teleporter. He has the gun. On that comm, you can see he has the chrono accelerator and he has the refracting chrono amplifier. Increases main cannon damage to 850% and grants area of effect, and doubles the main weapon rate of fire, increases its range and that of the overcharge. So he's going to teleport in and kill the comm, it looks like, but the comm is underwater. So, and the teleport is initiated. For Mr. Female Dog, he's teleporting to the main island next to some mass extraction. Is probably not the best place to teleport in. And he starts opening fire, takes out one Rascom just outright, and everything opens up on him and just gets destroyed. And that is a win for the Innos in this game. Nick 01 prevails, and you can just see the sea of green. And again, thank you to everyone for watching to the end, and for everyone to help reach the channel 350 subscribers. Again, thank you so much. Again, if you've enjoyed this cast, go ahead and check out all the other ones on the channel. This is also the 50th FAF cast on the channel. So again, 2 milestones at the same time. Again, thank you so much for watching. I greatly appreciate it, and I will see all of you in the next one.